Hey guys, welcome to the beautiful Rainbow Power Hour. It's November 20th, and we're going to have a great time. I'm Phil in the Blanc, and I represent Team Olympics in Positivity. Season 2, Episode 56. Hey, you know the not so attractive redhead from Sex in the City? She's in something else. You figure it out. Hey, Carson Kressley, he didn't do anything. They just got no one else to bring on the show, and he can never turn down an opportunity to talk about himself forever. I hope you enjoy this big waste of time too. Hey, want another terrible cooking demo? Just fast forward to the end. All right, guys. Go fuck yourself.
For 60 months, get great deals on a new hot tub, pool tip.
Live with Kelly and Mark. Today, one of the stars of the Gilded Age, Cynthia Nixon. Plus, actor, author, judge, unfashionable friend, Carson Kressley. Also, Dave, one of the live producers, serves up his savory biscuits as we continue our Thanksgiving cooking week. All this on Live. Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Mike Castillo.
Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Go Kelly. Yeah, all right.
Calm down. It's a Tuesday. We haven't done anything yet.
We haven't done anything yet, I know. Very rowdy group.
It feels like the last day of school.
It does.
Doesn't it feel like the last day of school?
Tuesday.
I see young people in here. Everybody's home. They're off already.
Yeah.
They're coming in, returning from college, triumphant. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Hey, last night, I did something around 10:30 last night. I turned on the TV because I remembered the Chiefs were playing the Eagles. You know, and I really don't have a dog in this fight because I'm a Bucks fan. I also like the Lions now for your dad.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like the Lions.
It's so sweet that after
Plus, it's in Michigan. We're a Michigan family.
almost 30 years, you finally.
And those Eagles were down by 10 points. Nothing was working for them. It was 17-7, I think. And then I turned it on, and guess what happened? Because I turned it on.
You made them win.
They won.
So you're taking credit.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking
Oh,
total credit.
yeah, because I started watching. I changed the outcome of life.
And the Eagles do this thing to push the tush push.
It's called the
Yes.
Consuelos
One line,
vagina
they all
stroke.
get together and they just, it's illegal, first of all. It's illegal. They're going to outlaw it.
Right.
They're so
Outlawed.
it's not
They
illegal.
don't call
pushed
it
across, They
outlawed.
scored 2 touchdowns like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's also how you look when you have babies.
Ashley,
Ash, how
are
are you
you
feeling today?
so grateful that Mark turned on the game and saved the day?
From all the Eagles fans out there.
Let me know. Let me know when the next game's on. I'll turn it on in the third quarter
Thank
for
you.
you.
I appreciate
Oh,
it.
gee. I thought you were such a huge football fan. Here, let me give you a hint when the next game on. It's fucking Sunday, you dumb fuck.
It
Yeah,
was very exciting.
it was very, very exciting. We also watched a show on where the blue zones are.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really interesting docu-series about the blue zones and where people live to be over 100 years old, and like large swaths of people live to be over 100 years old, and it's like all over the globe. But it was so funny, the two of us watching this series, because there were moments where we were like yes, and then they'd say, and we never get angry, and then we go, oh, we're dead. You know, like, oh, we eat purple sweet potatoes, yes, and we never get upset. It was like watching the roller coaster of us going, we're going to live forever.
Right.
No, we're dead. We're dead.
And then people that don't sit down.
They don't sit down.
Or everything's low to the floor, so they have to get up and down while we're laying in bed like this.
We had been in bed for 3 hours at that point. And so they were like, we never sit. And Mark goes, does laying down count?
I'm just resting. The one interesting one, they linked the steepness of a village in Sardinia to having more centenarians living in their town.
So the steeper your village is and the more impossible your climb is, the longer you live. Isn't that amazing?
Because you have to move. You have to move going down as well. Also, going down a hill is also not as easy as just walking.
Right. You would think that people would be falling and breaking their hips, but they're not.
No, they're strong, they're happy.
And they eat pasta and they eat
and we're like,
carbs.
yes.
Pasta carbs.
Or red wine.
And
they drink red wine.
They drink red wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the cognitive abilities of it's not just that they're living longer, but cognitively they are with it. So anyway,
there's that.
It's probably not where any of us are from, so we should not get too excited. But it's not too late for us to move there.
To Sardinia.
Yeah.
To Sardinia. Mm-hmm. Hey, travel forecast for this week. Storm system that could slow down your plans if Thanksgiving is. You're one of the 55 million people traveling this holiday. Where's it happen? In the Northeast, right, Gilman?
Yes, just in time. Yes.
In the north of here, though, right? New England. Here too.
Well, we're getting a little something tonight.
A little something, just rain, and across the plains. I don't know. There's going to be some tornado action going on, something like that.
They had tornadic activity already.
They did.
I just wanted to use the word tornadic, but I heard it on the news.
That's hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's funny. There's this new survey that determines, because we're talking about traveling. Anybody here from New Jersey? Same. Bad news for us. It determines the survey that we in New Jersey, we don't know how to travel. Yeah. So
I have an idea, but keep going.
What's your idea? What's your thought?
First
Give me
of
your
all,
thought bubble before I tell you how wrong you are.
Well, first of all, if you have to get out and pump your own gas, you're going to be like, what's this? What do you mean you can't pump your own gas? I want to pump my own gas. You can't do it in New Jersey. We actually had a little squabble over that.
Yeah.
Early on in the relationship.
Yes. You tried to get
another fucking story that you guys have told several times. Now you're just repeating yourselves. You get into these. I bet you have a whole list of like fucking 20 relationship stories that are your go-to stories you tell new couples and new people. You go to the set list. It's like when Chris Rock goes in front of a new crowd that's never heard anything, he'll bust out his greatest hits because they ain't never heard the one about black people before. You know what I mean? They ain't never heard the big piece of fried chicken joke, right? And here you go, just thinking, oh, well, these people in the audience, they haven't heard this story. You're going to tell the whole story about how when you went to go visit her parents back when you were dating, that you didn't. You've told this story before, and now you're going to repeat your story. And you think you're. Let's see how good that they've rehearsed this story, because I'm sure they've rehearsed this. First of all, I'm sure they've rehearsed this story hundreds of times via telling it hundreds of times. So let's see how their performances when they tell this story for like the 250th time or the 300th time. Let's see how their chemistry is, because this should be like Abbott and Costello saying fucking who's on first after 20 years of being together. It should be smooth. So let's see how their chemistry is telling the Jersey, the first time dickhead was in Jersey like, and wanted to pump gas.
What do you mean you can't pump your own gas?
Like an well-oiled machine.
You can't do it in New Jersey. We actually had a little squabble over that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Early on in the relationship.
Yes. You tried to get out and pump your own gas, and I was like, you can't do that here.
That's funny. You guys are so funny.
Ridiculous. And you're like, you're ridiculous.
Yeah. right here. The whole thing where he goes, you were like, that's ridiculous. And I said, you're ridiculous. That's his line. He has said that exact same line verbatim every fucking 300 times they've said this story in the last 25 years. And that's the delivery he gets. This is your funny little story. This is one of your best stories you tell new people. The story about the first time I wanted to pump gas in New Jersey. This is pathetic.
Here. Yeah.
I think I'd rather stare at Regis's fucking bones for 60 minutes than watch you pathetic fucks.
And I was like, that's ridiculous. And you're like, you're ridiculous.
You were also, if you recall, we had rented, and this is why Mark doesn't pay attention to details. When we went to the rental company to pick up the car, it was an iridescent purple car that sometimes looked green, sometimes looked yellow, sometimes looked purple. Do you know what I'm talking about? So Mark didn't think that was a big deal. And I was like, we can't go home in this car. My parents will think something happened to us. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I remember. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, so here's the problem with us, lady from New Jersey.
You're just like Sonny and Cher.
We have a problem with carry-on luggage. Understanding the size, scope, scale, and where it goes. Getting off the airplane is also challenging for us. We want to figure out where we're going to have lunch in the aisle of the plane. We stand too close to the carousel to get our bags. That's Mark, first of all. I call Mark the gargoyle of the carousel.
I want to be the first. I have a system.
If you could get in there and actually get the bags off the plane. If they would let me,
I would.
I know. I keep explaining to him, you can't go beyond this point, because it says don't go beyond this point. But Mark is always inching his way beyond that point. Maybe you're from New Jersey.
I could be.
Being reminded by TSA to take off your belts and shoes. That is, I can
this
always.
Is a New Jersey thing?
More people from New Jersey suffer from this. Yes, being reminded to take off their. Yeah. Struggle to getting our carry-ons to fit in the overhead because, again, that full-size luggage is really not a carry-on. And going through the scanner with your phone, your jewelry, your medical devices.
Yes. It's hard to get all those gold chains off at the same time.
Somebody I'm looking at that has an Italian horn.
Yes.
So you better calm down.
I'm Italian, I can say that. Also, when they get out of the airport, if they're driving, they won't understand the exit signs because the exit signs are before the exit. Where in New Jersey, they're like a half mile afterwards. Turn right.
True. That is true.
What's the jug handle?
That's very true. That is true. If you've ever traveled in New Jersey, you know that the exit sign is a half mile after the exit. So then you're like, oh, I missed the exit? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Speaking of airports,
yes.
No one should pick you up at the airport. Well, because there's...
How are we supposed to get home?
No. Like, if you have family members coming, or you have friends coming to visit.
Yes.
There's so many other options, especially in New York. There's so many Ubers and Lyfts and other options to get those people home. Unless, obviously, if it's our parents or the elderly.
Yes, we have to get them.
You have to.
We have to get them. Sometimes I want to buy a ticket for a plane I'm not going to get on so I can help them get off the plane and get out of there.
Right.
Because otherwise... Guys, we're talking about a weekend occasion where we're looking for parents in the airport.
Pickup is clearly the right thing to do if you have elderly relatives who may struggle with baggage and other stuff like that, and smartphone skills.
Smartphone skills. Listening to you talk to your parents about replying all was the funniest conversation I ever
understand
heard
what reply
in my
all
life.
was.
In my life, I had never heard a conversation.
Yeah, talking to my dad now, who, like a little mad scientist in his day, very, very with it. And he still is. But talking to him now is like talking to me if you wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning with the fire alarm going off. I'm like, what?
Or last night when we got a wine delivery at 9 p.m.
Right.
Mark had a full conversation through the ring cam, through the door, with the man saying, we didn't order any wine. And the guy's like, look, what do you want from me? I don't know. And Mark's like, well, just leave it there. And he's like, I need you to sign for it. And Mark goes,
like,
I'm not dressed.
Come back.
I'm not coming downstairs.
It seemed like a trick.
You seem to think it was a trick. I just seem to think somebody sent us wine and we should probably go get it.
No, not at 9 o'clock. I'm not opening the door at 9 o'clock.
Mark was too busy watching the Blue Zone First of all, he became so enraged. I'm like, you're taking years off your life right now. Because
I was annoyed.
Somebody sent us wine and you're upset about it. See, they never do this in Japan.
Right.
They walk all the way down the stairs to get the wine delivery. And then they drink it.
Right. And that's why they're so happy.
Exactly. Okay. I want to get to the least favorite Thanksgiving food items, but we have saved it for tomorrow.
We got a lot going on today.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
And I'm distracted because I see 2 adult twins in front of me. Adult twins dressed in matching sequins. I just want to go party with you 2. Welcome to
Okay.
I understand it's her birthday, but she is not an adult twin. You should have taken your adult twin with you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All right, on today's show, Cynthia Nixon is here.
Oh, yes. Also, Carson Kressley is here.
And we continue live Thanksgiving cooking week when producer, you're in for a treat. Because David Mullen really is a chef, a baker. I don't know what he's doing producing the show. His real job is just baking and cooking things and posting them on social media to make us all very envious of his skills. So David Mullen is going to share his... every time I see David Mullen, I'm like, who's that? Is he related to Dave Mullen? His recipe for savory Gruyere slab biscuits.
All right. Are we going to this today? We're going to eat it, yeah?
What do you mean?
Yeah, we have to. I'm so hungry right now.
In Italy, they would eat that savory biscuit.
Yeah, we're eating that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You all know what time it is. It's time to play.
Angel from New York, who watches the show on WABC. Good morning, Alicia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Doing great. All right. You know how this game is played, right? You have given us 2 statements. One is true, one is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth. If you stump me, you'll win this.
You are I don't have to say anything because it's Tuesday and it proves it's Tuesday all by itself.
All right, Alicia, here you go. These are good statements. I once flew to Shanghai just to get lunch. Ooh. Or I once flew to Paris just for creme brulee.
Wow, fancy.
That's it. That's fancy.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, Alicia, because I know this audience. Right away, they feel that you've been too fortunate in life and they're rooting against you.
I understand. Listen, I get it. But I just want to say I did fly free.
Okay, are you a flight attendant?
No, my mom worked for an airline when I was growing up.
I don't know.
And where were you? Where did you start when you flew to Shanghai? Where was your port of that? Where did you start from? What was your first flight?
Newark.
Oh, okay. And then same for Paris?
Same for Paris.
And what kind of lunch did you have in Shanghai?
Well, I had eel, actually,
Eel?
for the first time. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And how was the creme brulee in Paris?
Well, it wasn't as it wasn't as good as I was hoping because I had a little problem where my bank froze my account, so I had to get it from the grocery store instead.
Okay.
They thought it was fraud.
Yeah. Okay. Flying to Shanghai is a long flight just for lunch. That is a long flight. But flying to Paris is not so bad. That's a pretty easy thing to do. I mean, it's not too long from New York City, right?
Listen to you, James Bond of travel.
But both could be
But do
done,
people
right?
really go there for creme brulee? Have we had creme brulee in Paris? Not really, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm sure.
I'm sure it's very good, but now that you think about it.
Yeah. All right. But I
We should go there for Thanksgiving.
Leave the family. All right. I'm going to say you went to Paris to have some creme brulee.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You got it. I made it too easy.
She just uncled you. You know when you tickle someone and they go, uncle, uncle, uncle.
All right.
Yeah, she's all right. You're right. She didn't want to be late.
Alicia, you didn't win the mug or the T-shirt, but you still have a chance to win a valuable trip.
Ooh, a valuable
All right.
trip.
Yes, it's time to go. I knew you were going to travel.
That's Melanie Stillwell from Henderson, Texas. Her daughter will be cheering on a float at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Are you the cheerleaders here? Very exciting. Your daughters are the dancers. You're the dance moms. Got it. Okay, got it. All right. Deja, spin that wheel to see what Alicia's playing for. Uncle.
All right, here's the deal. I was in the other room avoiding this fucking terrible fucking hell show. So I'm just going to come in and see what the options were. I once flew to Shanghai just to get lunch. I once flew to Paris just for creme brulee. Well, where did you fly from? Because you can't just assume it was America. I would say, I'm going to say you flew to Shanghai to get lunch because you could get good creme brulee in America, but you can't really get good authentic Chinese food in America. So I'm going to say it's true that you once flew to Shanghai to get lunch. That's the truth. Shanghai's the truth. Let me see if I'm right.
They thought it was fraud.
Yeah. Okay. Flying to Shanghai is a long flight just for lunch. That is a long flight.
And Paris isn't?
But flying to Paris is not so bad. That's a pretty easy thing to do. I mean, it's not too long from New York City, right?
Listen to you, James Bond of travel.
But do people really go there for
Kelly, you're so witty with your lines. You're so talented.
It's a pretty easy thing to do. I mean, it's not too long from New York City, right?
Listen to you, James Bond of travel.
But do people really go there for creme brulee? Have we had creme brulee in Paris? Not really, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm sure.
I'm sure it's very good, but now that you think about
it. All right. But
we should go there for Thanksgiving.
Why don't you shut the fuck up and stop stalling?
A flight in Paris, not so bad. That's a pretty easy thing to do. I mean, it's not too long from New York City, right?
Listen to you, James Bond of travel.
But both could be
But do
done,
people
right?
really go there for creme brulee? Have we had creme brulee in Paris? Not really, right?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. I'm sure that.
Here, why don't I make you guys watch it? I'm going to make you watch this for 3 whole hours.
But both could be
But do
done,
people
right?
really go there for creme brulee? Have we had creme brulee in Paris?
No.
Not really, right?
Do you not
I don't
remember?
think so.
I don't think so. I'm sure that.
I'm sure
I'm
it's
pretty
very
sure
good.
I'm pretty sure most people in America, if they've had creme brulee in Paris, it's something that's going to be pretty easy to remember. I don't know who the fuck says I'm not 100% sure whether or not I've had creme brulee in Paris before.
Now that you think about it.
Yeah, that's good. All right, but I
We should go there for Thanksgiving.
leave it to family. All right, I'm going to say you went to Paris to have some creme brulee.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You got it. I made it too easy.
I'm back, baby.
She just uncled you. You know when you tickle someone and they go, uncle, uncle, uncle.
All right.
Yeah, she's all right, you're right.
All
She didn't
right.
want to be late.
Alicia, you didn't win the mug or the T-shirt, but you still have a chance to win a valuable trip.
Ooh, a valuable
All right.
trip.
Yes, it's time for
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Here's me dancing like some old woman in a hockey. Here, let's see what we got here.
That's Melanie Stillwell from Henderson, Texas. Her daughter will be cheering on a float at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Are you the cheerleaders here? Very exciting. Your daughters are the dancers. You're the dance moms. Got it. Okay, got it. All right. Deja, spin that wheel to see what Alicia's playing for. All right, you're playing for a trip for two to the Windjammer Landing Resort in St. Lucia. 7 days, 6 nights. It's all inclusive. It's a prize valued at $9,800. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Alicia, good luck.
All right, Alicia, here we go. Last week, we talked with Chris Redd. In what state did Chris Redd say he was spending Thanksgiving?
Oh, how about up your fucking ass? Texas.
Oh my gosh. Philly? Pennsylvania? No.
No, Mississippi.
I do that too, though, Gelman. I get cities and states confused.
That's because you're a stupid bitch.
Yeah. Sorry, Alicia, but you're still
Because you didn't pay attention
gonna
in
be entered
school.
into our grand
You had to
prize drawing
blow
for a
some old
Caribbean
white man when you were a
vacation
teenager
valued at
to get a
over
chance to be on
$14,000.
auditioning for shows. That's because when you were 14, you let some old creepy 55-year-old man touch you down your shorts to get you on the front floor of the little Dick Clark dance TV show so you could start to be famous. Allegedly.
The studio audience will each receive a Roomba vacuum from iRobot just in time for Thanksgiving. So please pick a number between 1 and 169.
75.
17.
And I
Who's 17?
thoroughly disagree with these allegations.
All right, Alicia, better luck next time when we return. Cynthia Nixon is here. Stick around.
Carson Kressley. We continue live Thanksgiving cooking week with a recipe from our own David Mullen for savory biscuits. And coming up next, Cynthia Nixon.
That's not her real hair color. She looks really terrible.
And just like that, now she's ditched the Manolos for corsets and bustles in the Gilded Age. Please welcome back to the show, Cynthia Nixon.
This is so nice. The last time I was here, there was no audience.
No audience.
And it's
Yes.
really
We've just incorporated. You know, I feel like you are constantly working. You don't have any time off. Do you get a vacation
I
in
do.
between?
I do. Well, we've also, of course, just come out of a strike.
Right.
That's true.
So
That's
there is
true.
that.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, I mean,
But that's not so much a vacation as like
no, that's
right.
true. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of the great things, about being an actor. You guys work all the time. We have like heavy periods of working,
And then you get a break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get a
that's
break.
great.
So
Thanksgiving's coming.
yes.
What are your big family traditions?
So we love Thanksgiving at our house.
You do?
We often have, pre-COVID, we were having like 33, 35
Yes.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you make 2 turkeys?
Oh, no. I had it catered because I was like, I can't keep like corn and potatoes warm at the same time. So I went full cater.
Do you cook?
I do. I usually make 2 turkeys just because I like to have a lot left over. I make 2 kinds of stuffing. I make a bunch of desserts. And gravy, of course.
Yeah.
And my wife makes a lot of the sides.
What are her side specials?
So she has like an amazing
Amazing.
vegetable side that has all sorts of root vegetables and capers and tomatoes. And she makes the mashed potatoes.
That
And
sounds
I hear
gross.
that you have a cranberry sauce in your cake.
I do. I
Tell
do.
me
I'm sorry. Like this video, if you would love to go to your family Thanksgiving and find out that Aunt Martha brought a fucking root vegetable casserole with capers. What is that? Oh, that's a bunch of root vegetables with capers. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Give me the cornbread and the fucking potatoes, please. Fucking. And of course, she highlights it with she makes this amazing side dish of braised purple cabbage with pomegranate juice and elderflowers mixed with seaweed and plant-based tofu, and then it's tossed with like vinegar and a lot of sesame oil. It's so good. She makes this wonderful caper and olive, avocado, coconut, warm fucking no, just she makes this wonderful like hot lettuce. She takes iceberg lettuce and she sautés it until it gets mushy, and she mixes it with she makes this like pumpernickel, Limburger, and like olive and caper like strudel with plant-based meat. It's so good. No, it's not. I can tell you this, that dish is not good.
And gravy, of course.
Yeah.
And my wife makes a lot of the sides.
What are her side specials?
So she has like an amazing vegetable side that has all sorts of root vegetables and capers and tomatoes. And she makes the mashed potatoes. And
I hear that you have a cranberry sauce in your cake.
I do.
Tell me about that. It's
Tell me
very
about
interesting.
that.
It
sounds
It
interesting.
sounds really kind
It
of
sounds
bizarre, but
fascinating.
it's 4 cups of cranberries
Yeah.
and 2 cups of jalapenos.
2
Whoa.
cups.
And then a quarter cup
Oh.
of sugar and some salt.
So how many cans
Wow.
of cranberries
Ooh,
are
that
in
sounds
it?
good.
For those of us that aren't familiar with
4 cups. So I get them in those bags,
Yes,
the fresh
of
ones.
course,
So it's like I don't know,
2
it's like 2.5 bags.
And the hot and the sweet.
So you make it ahead of time. Like I make.
Well, it's gonna be sweet, tart, and spicy. Oh my god.
For those of us that aren't familiar with
4
actual-
cups. So I get them in those bags,
Yes,
the fresh
of
ones.
course,
So it's
right.
like I don't know,
2
it's
bags.
like 2.5 bags.
And the hot and the sweet.
So you make it ahead of time. Like I made it already.
It's done.
Well, it's not done, but it's pureed and it's sitting on my shelves in glass jars that are like not. The lids are very loose, and then it kind of like if you eat it right away, your head would explode. But it mellows, and then after a few days, like today, I'm going to go home and I'm going to puree it again and then put it in the fridge, and then by Thursday it'll be just right.
So it'll be like sweet and spicy.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
Oh, we should stop by your house.
Please do.
The kids won't notice if we go missing for a couple of hours.
You grew up in New York City. Did you go to the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Macy's Parade?
Oh, all the time. My mom had a friend who lived on Central Park West, and he had a little balcony.
Oh, amazing. That's
So
the best.
we would go over there.
See the balloons get inflated as well.
Yeah, I mean, now it's a whole thing with all of those, you have to...
They close it down and they have stanchions.
It's all very organized. But when I was a kid, you would, I don't know, you would just go and
of course.
watch, and it was.
It's funny, there's so many of our audience members, they have daughters and sons that are either cheering in, dancing in the parade. They're like, all of them, now they're very silent, they're just waving. So they're actually in the parade.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Rufus hates being.
Am I glowing?
I think it is such an interesting.
Changed the way I look at the world and my own independence.
Feels good to be home.
This Black Friday at Ashley, doors open at 7 a.m. Line up early for doorbusters starting at $199. This recliner, only $199. Plus, for 2 hours only, this upholstered sofa is only $299. Ashley's Black Friday sale. Doors open at 7 a.m.
What is this?
I was going to ask you after the opera, but I can't wait.
What are you?
Will you marry me, Mercedes Brooke?
Yes, Mr. Laporte. Yes, I will.
Scene from the Gilded Age in its second season. I love the show so much. I am fascinated by the 1800s.
Yes.
I just think it is such an interesting time in history. And for me, I'm not going to lie, I love the Gilded Age costuming, set design, all of it. Do you think when your characters marry, you will drop the Mr. and Miss aspect?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
But yeah, it is a really fascinating period, and it's such a period so much like our own. All of a sudden now we have billionaires, but millionaires out of nowhere, and railroads exploding, and it's like tech now.
Yeah, they were the Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos of their.
And that was Robert Sean Leonard. He plays your fiance.
Yes.
Had you guys worked together before, yeah?
Yes, Bobby. I call him Bobby because I've known him since he was 16 and I was 19, and we did a play together. It was his first professional play, and we've been friends all these years.
Oh my gosh, with David Canary.
David Canary and Michael Learned, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes, yeah. It was his very first professional thing. So, yes, I pushed for him, and I mean the producers were so thrilled to get him.
Thank you for coming. Will you bring the cranberry sauce next time?
Don't worry.
Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO. Carson Kressley.
This may be your first car wreck, but it's not ours. Lerner Rose helped over 150,000 people recover. How do you find the right attorney? Do the math. An attorney with no experience? No way! They have experience, but no results? Not good. Now, if you have experience and results, that's Lerner and Rowe. Call 222-2222.
Welcome back. It's been 20 years since this newcomer first came onto our TV screen.
Oh my God.
Please welcome back one of our favorite people ever, Carson Kressley.
How about those birds? How about those birds?
Go
You know,
Birds.
Mark saved the game by tuning it on in the third
I
quarter.
heard. I'm not much of a football fan, but you had me at tush push. So, and Taylor's done a lot to educate me about football. So,
Yes.
now I know about football.
Now you know.
Now you know
Yeah,
about football.
it's so
You're
educational.
fresh from El Salvador. You just came home.
Yes. Am I glowing?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I was there doing the Miss Universe
How
pageant.
was it?
Spoiler alert, I didn't win.
I demand a recount.
I know. It was really, really fun. And they put on an amazing show. El Salvador, I mean, I'd never been to Central America. People were so warm and
We
welcoming.
have two
and
people here
amazing.
from El Salvador.
Yeah, that's El Tuve Beach. I went there. There were lots of surfers. I don't surf, but I enjoy looking at surfers.
Yes, of course. Oh my gosh.
And then that is a volcano. And they said, yeah, it just erupted 100 years ago. And I was like, well, when's the next one due? They're like, we have no idea. And I was like, that's like 100 years ago for a volcano is pretty fresh.
Right, exactly.
You know, that's like
Right.
a hot burner on the stove
Right.
still. I was
Right,
like,
right.
is this safe? But apparently it was.
Yeah, it didn't seem very churny back then.
No, it looked like the Grand Canyon, but like a bowl, and it was very green. And there's just so many amazing natural wonders
So
there.
you were a judge at the Miss America pageant.
I was, yeah, I was part
Were
of
you
this-
very judgy?
Were you judgy?
I was very judgy.
So what do you look for in a Miss America contest?
Yeah.
Well,
in a Miss
What's your
Universe
favorite segment of it?
My favorite part, they have this thing in the preliminaries, and I got to go early and judge the preliminaries and do the interviews.
Okay.
But they have a national costume contest.
Oh, yeah,
You don't
that's
have
my
to
favorite
dress.
part.
Yeah, you don't have to dress like Peru, but something that's inspired by Peru, and that was actually my favorite. I don't know if here's the video.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's incredible.
isn't that so amazing? And yeah, she closed it up, and then like when she came out first, she popped it open. I was like, oh, I love a reveal.
Yes.
So that was one of my favorites. It was glamorous and fun, and it really spoke to her nationality and the country she was representing. So that's my favorite part.
You know, Mark mentioned before you came out here that it's been 20 years since
Yes.
we were introduced to you on
Yes.
Queer Eye for the Straight.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your origin story.
Yeah.
Right.
What were you doing before that?
I had a great job. I worked for Ralph Lauren.
Oh,
wow.
And I was a stylist, and I would go all over the country with, husky puppies and hot male models and stacks of cashmere sweaters.
Yeah.
And I would shoot ads for all the department stores, for Macy's and Belk's and everybody in between, back when there were thousands of individual department stores. And I did that for about 6 years. And one day, one of my producers that I worked with, who booked the photographers and the models, said, I heard about this show called Queer Eye, and it's going to be on Bravo. And I was like, what's Bravo? A nonstick cooking spray? I mean, back then, it was 20 years ago.
Right, of course.
And I was just like, she said, you should be on it. You'll be perfect. I said, how do I do it? She said, I don't know. So, I had some chutzpah, and I was like, I'm going to call Bravo. So.
Yeah.
It was before Google. I had to ask Jeeves for the phone number.
Right.
And they were in Jericho, Long Island. They weren't even in New York. And I called, and someone picked up the phone, thank God, and said,
What did they answer the phone? Hello, Bravo?
yeah, they were like, hello, Bravo. And I was like, hi, I want to be on this show. And they were like, they knew about it.
Right.
And they said, oh, that's being made by a production company. I had no idea how television was actually made.
And you called them.
So So then they gave me the number for the production company, Scout Productions in Boston. Asked Jeeves again, need the phone number, called, got an intern who totally knew what was going on and said, they're casting in New York, you should go down, send a headshot. I was like, I don't have a headshot, but I have a picture of me with some puppies and a model and some sweaters.
Right.
And I sent that and I went down and I did the interview and they're like, we like you.
Oh, they were very, very smart.
And here I am, 20 years.
Hey, listen, we need to take a break, all right? More with Carson when we return.
If you love watching our show from home, now's your chance to see it live and in person. You can check out all the stars, be part of the show, and maybe even win a prize. It's exclusive. Don't miss out on all the fun. Visit our website and get your tickets for Live with Kelly and Mark now.
We wish you the happiest Pass the Gravy season.
What he's trying to say is Happy Thanksgiving.
Next time, Chris Pine from the new Disney film Wish. Plus, Live Thanksgiving Cooking Week continues with Kelvin's Cooking.
Slide in strong, wow. Turn around and stick it up, wow, wow. 5 specimen, wow. Drop it down up.
Topic shit. Ready for it? Next time on all.
Today at 1 on ABC 7.
Do you or loved ones
That makes your heart sing.
Oh my God.
Here sits the McDonald's hash. Stars live tonight on ABC and Disney Plus.
Welcome back. You know, he started live over 30 years ago and retired 3 times. But every time he gets out, we pull him back in. He's been making great television and baked goods ever since. Here he is today with a recipe for a holiday favorite. It's our very own live producer, Dave Mullen.
Yay!
Hi.
Hello, Dave.
Meet Mark Consuelos. Yes. Okay, Mullen,
How often do you bake?
you bake a lot.
I do.
You were a professional baker, correct?
I mean, I worked at a bakery for a little bit.
Okay, that counts as being a professional baker.
Sure.
Okay, so what are we going to make today, and where did you come up with this recipe?
I found something similar to it online, and then I Googled a couple of more recipes by the same title, and I kind of came up with this.
Okay, I like it. So what should we
So,
start?
Mark, you're going to start. You're going to...
There's more of Kelly Ripa's fucking superficial, artificial, fake La La Land fucking Disney bullshit. Let me ask you this, Kelly Ripa. If I was a teenager and I got a job at Dunkin' Donuts when I was 15 baking donuts, would you say that qualifies as being a professional baker? Because a professional baker is someone that went to pastry school, went to some kind of school, worked in like an actual bakery and learned how to create many different things and learned how to do almost everything, can do almost everything. You know, if you worked at a bakery where you made bread for like a year when you were in college, that doesn't mean you're a professional baker. She's such a fucking ass-kissing, fucking ego-inflating fucking piece of shit. Like, no one even believes anything you say. Do you think we're all going to look at him like he's some professional now because Kelly Ripa said so?
Get ready to sing and dance along.
I'm going to fucking throw up because of your presence.
Welcome back. You know, he started live over 30 years ago and retired 3 times. But every time he gets out, we pull him back in. He's been making great television and baked goods ever since. Here he is today with a recipe for a holiday favorite. It's our very own live producer, Dave Mullen.
Yay!
Hi.
Hello, Dave.
Meet Mark Consuelos. Yes. Okay, Mullen,
How often do you bake?
you bake a lot.
I do.
You were a professional baker, correct?
I mean, I worked at a bakery for a little bit.
Okay, that counts as being a professional baker.
Sure.
Okay, so what are we going to make today, and where did you come up with this recipe?
I found something similar to it online, and then I Googled a couple of more recipes by the same title, and I kind of came up with this.
Okay, I like it. So what should we
So,
start?
Mark, you're going to start. You're going to grate some Gruyere cheese, 8 ounces of Gruyere cheese, and then you're going to dump those herbs and scallions into it, mix it up. And then, Kelly, I'm going to have you start putting in some baking powder and some salt into the flour. It's 4.5 cups of flour.
Okay.
You're going to mix it up, and then you're going to chop up the butter.
Chop up the butter.
Yeah. Into small little pieces using the butter.
Do you put it in the freezer first to make it ice cold, or just fridge butter?
Just fridge butter. Yeah. And then, Mark, when you're done with that,
could I use pre-grated cheese if I wanted to?
No, so don't use pre-grated cheese for a couple of reasons. One is the pre-grated cheese that you buy in a grocery store in the little plastic bags, they have starch in them. Different kinds of starch, and that will affect or dry out the kind of biscuit.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's also a lot more flavor when you use grated.
Pour it here?
No, you're going to mix sour cream
and some milk
and some
buttermilk.
Into this, and you're going to whisk the two of those together.
We're making Gruyere, savory Gruyere slab biscuits for those of you who are curious and just joining us from another planet.
And then Cal.
From another planet. Where does she come up with this terrible fucking diarrhea humor?
All I can say is he's been very welcoming back each time I came.
I'm sure he's grateful when you come back.
I'm very grateful.
Yes, we're all very grateful.
Do you find that
he kept on trying to touch my crotch. And then when I threatened to retire and sue, he offered me a lot more money to come back. So thanks to him trying to sexually harass me, I've actually quadrupled my salary. I used to make $280 grand a year. Now I make $2 million a year, and I don't really do anything.
Into this, and you're going to whisk the two of those together.
We're making Gruyere, savory Gruyere slab biscuits for those of you who are curious and just joining us from another planet.
And then Cal.
Hey, Dave.
You're going to mix this into that.
What did Gelman do to make you retire 3 separate times?
All I can say is he's been very welcoming back each time I came.
I'm sure he's grateful.
because you signed an NDA.
I'm very grateful.
Yes, we're all very
And do you
grateful.
find that mixing this by hand is better than using a food processor?
Well, food processor, so if you were to mix the flour mixture in a food processor, you have a tendency to over mix it.
Okay.
Like when I make a pie crust, I use a food processor.
Okay.
But for this, I don't.
And then what happens if you over mix it? Because you get
It just breaks down, and it's almost like
you get a sloppy biscuit.
Yeah.
He's just asking you questions. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
I don't either.
Nobody likes a sloppy biscuit.
All right, Mark, you're gonna slowly mix this into that.
Here we go. That's what we all. Oops, sorry, babe.
We're gonna work.
Sorry, sweetheart.
And then this is just gonna get mixed up together.
Sorry, I'm just going to wipe this off.
He did say slowly, so I messed up.
So you mix this all to like a consistency. You don't want it to be too wet.
Not too wet.
Right?
Got it.
So there's one under here that's already done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's supposed to look like.
Gorgeous.
Right.
Okay, then what do we do?
And then this gets dumped into this.
Just dump it in.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
There you go.
You make it you're so easygoing about
And this, you just press it all down. If you don't want to touch it, I will. Just fill out the corners.
Okay.
Is it true that using a different baking dish can make your end result different?
So if you
Dave?
use a metal one, if you use a metal pan, you're going to get a darker crust. If you use a ceramic or a glass, it'll be kind of light.
It's never occurred to me to not use a ceramic pan for biscuits, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But you use metal at home?
I did the ones that I made for the office last week were
They were raving about that, by the way.
yeah, they were in a metal pan.
Dave's biscuits, blah, blah, blah.
So then what you do before you put it in the oven, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, because you want it to be a little uneven. It's kind of like, it looks nice. You want to just score it to make like biscuit size pieces.
Okay.
And it kind of looks nicer when it comes out of the oven.
Okay.
Yeah.
This goes into the oven.
All right.
425 for about 35 minutes.
Dave, do you always bake with one hand in your pocket?
Honestly. I do. I will say this, though. When I do bake at home,
I actually line all my stuff up like this.
You do?
Yeah, like I measure it in advance, and then
Of course.
Love it.
so when it comes out,
Of course you do.
Oh my gosh, that's
you want to put some melted butter.
Now,
on
will this be
top.
part of your Thanksgiving dinner menu?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I mean we have biscuits, regular biscuits happening, but yeah, I think so.
You think so?
And then
Fucking
Are you
Thanksgiving's
going
in
to
2
be in New
days.
York? Should we come over?
no, going up to Cape Cod. Here's one here.
That sounds nice.
Are you the guy that lives in the castle?
May I?
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
This guy lives in a fucking like 10,000 square foot castle passed down from his rich ass fucking great grandparents.
That is nuts. This is so much better than my apple blueberry.
I also want to say the recipe is really great as a base. Like you could put bacon in here. You could swap out the Gruyere for cheddar. Excuse me.
Ooh.
And then use it. Put hot pepper flakes in it and serve it with like tomato soup. So can we change that?
Oh, great recommendation. It's like your own little red lobster biscuit, your cheddar baked biscuit. Oh, you could put anything you want in here. Like you could put nuts. Ooh, you could put chopped up. You could put like tomatoes. Ooh, you could put mushrooms. Ooh, we could put anything. We get it.
Like you could put bacon in here.
Here's a little key to everyone watching. Here's a little tip. Any kind of starch, you could put anything into it. So he's like, oh, he made it sound like this particular recipe for a biscuit is a great foundation, and you could put anything into it. Any type of biscuit dough is a great foundation. You can put in any scone, any biscuit, any croissant, any loaf of bread, any cupcake, any fucking piece of anything that's just any potato, mashed potatoes. You could add fucking grapes and walnuts and parsley to your mashed potatoes. I mean, that's a rule for any starch. That's what a starch does. You add anything you want to it in addition to it. Look at this fucker. Look at it. Don't eat those little biscuits are driving him fucking crazy. That's all, folks. Oh my God.
For cheddar, excuse me, and then use it. Put hot pepper flakes in it and serve it with like tomato soup. So can we change that a lot?
Thank you, Dave.
For David's holiday recipe, go to
If you would like to try any of this week's recipes, just log on to our website at livewithkellyandmark.com.
Shop Etsy's cyber sales event from November 20th to the 29th and save up to 60% on great
You better start realizing the truth. You keep on thinking, you keep on living in this fantasy world. I'm just going to adapt to it. Fuck that. Dad, you're probably never going to see me again. Don't you understand that? I'm going to get a call at your death. I'm going to miss your funeral. Dude, you fucked up with me. I'm fucking lying to you.
What do we do?
And then this gets dumped into the.
Watch how when he goes, oh, you could put some red pepper flake and serve it with tomato soup. Kelly gives the most inauthentic, phony ass.
For David's holiday recipe, go to
If you would like to try any of this week's recipes, just log on to our website.
Wait. Watch. Listen to Kelly go,
That is nuts. This is so much better than my apple blueberry.
I also want to say the recipe is really great as a base. Like you could put bacon in here. You could swap out the Gruyere for cheddar. Excuse me.
Watch.
And then use it.
Here it comes.
Put hot pepper flakes in it and serve it with like tomato soup. So can we change that a lot?
Listen to Kelly again. She's just staring at him. He could have been like, you could have put like some diced corn and some little pieces of bat guano and then mix it with my toenails. And she would have been like,
And then use it. put hot pepper flakes in it and serve it with like tomato soup. So can we change that a lot? And then use it, put hot pepper flake, bacon in here.
You could put in some dead skunk hair and serve it with a bowl of testicle soup.
Hot pepper flakes in it.
You know, you could get some roadkill, like some raccoon or skunk, and put in their dead hair and serve it with some of my hairy nutsack soup.
The recipe is really great as a base. Like you could put bacon in here.
What? No.
You could swap out the Gruyere for cheddar. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then use it.
You could take like roadkill and put their hair and serve it with soup made from my balls. Come on.
Swap.
So you could take some dead roadkill and put the skin in this and mix it with pubic hair and serve it with a bowl of soup made from my balls. You could swap it out for Gruyere, for cheddar. You could chop up some rubber bands and mix it with like some brains and serve it with soup made from my balls.
So can we change that a lot?
Thank you, Dave. For David's holiday recipe, go to live.com.
If you would like to try any of this week's recipes, just log on to our website at livewithkellyandmark.com.
Shop Etsy's cyber sales event from November 20th to the 29th and save up to 60%.
Doreen from the Bronx, New York. I made your apple caramel pie yesterday, Kelly. I put in blueberries and peaches. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's on the
Doreen,
website.
you got to make Dave's biscuits. They're so good.
Nick from Philadelphia said the tush push is also known as the brotherly shove.
Oh, that's very
The
sweet.
play is 96% successful. I agree.
Incredible. Also, Margaret from North Bay, Ontario said adult twins, Matthew and Nicholas, with their babies, Raylan and Grayson. So cute. On tomorrow's show, Chris Pine will be here.
And live Thanksgiving week.
She's a self-admitted person that hates sports, doesn't care for all its sports. And when someone says a name for the quarterback sneak that the Eagles do, she goes, amazing.
Hey, welcome back to the inbox.
Watch, she does it again. Here's a picture of your pie. It looks like diarrhea. Watch, she's going to say you made the pie, and she's going to go, That's just like a go-to. Right now, she's just in fucking robot mode. She's like, yeah, hurry up. I want to go home and fucking masturbate. Oh, look, Kelly, I made this. This is fucking Kelly right now. Kelly, I made your apple pie the other day. I substituted peaches and pomegranates. I made your crumble recipe the other day. I substituted peaches. I substituted the apples for peaches.
Doreen from the Bronx, New York. I made your apple caramel pie yesterday, Kelly. I put in blueberries and peaches. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's on the website.
Doreen, you got to make Dave's biscuits. They're so good.
Nick from Philadelphia
You
said
gotta,
the tush
Doreen,
push is also
you
known
gotta
as the
make
brother-
Dave's biscuits. They're so good. Have you ever said anything wasn't so good? So how do I know they're good? You've never said anything was bad. I ain't making shit just because you say it's good. You get paid to kiss everyone's fucking ass.
Hey, welcome back to the Inbox. Doreen from the Bronx, New York. I made your apple caramel pie yesterday, Kelly. I put in blueberries and peaches.
And then watch when he talks about the Eagles and the name of the brotherly shove, right? She admittedly hates sports, doesn't care anything about sports. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 0. And look what her reaction is when he says it. What the fuck are you doing?
That's a good idea. Yes, on the
Doreen, you gotta make Dave's biscuits. They're so
They're
good.
so
Nick from
good.
Philadelphia said
They're
the
so
tush push
good.
is also known as the brotherly shove.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Oh, that's very sweet. What's so sweet about it?
Also, Margaret from North Bay, Ontario said adult twins, Matthew and Nicholas, with their babies, Raylan and Grayson.
What is so sweet?
So cute. On tomorrow's show, Chris Pine will.
The tush push is also known as the brotherly shove. Oh, that's so sweet. What's so sweet? That wasn't supposed to be a sweet endearment. That was just like a fucking fact.
Oh, I agree.
Incredible.
She doesn't know what the fuck she's
Also, Margaret
talking
from
about.
North Bay, Ontario said adult twins, Matthew and Nicholas, with their babies, Raylan and Grayson. So cute. On tomorrow's show, Chris Pine will be here.
And live Thanksgiving week continues. The cookie from Gilded. He's going to cook on the show.
City of Hope. We're more than just a top-ranked cancer hospital. For over 100 years, we've been making breakthroughs.
Why do you put words in my mouth?
The View starts live right now. Primary target. GOP frontrunner Trump calls on his party to ditch the primaries and just back him for president. And while his former aides have voters on red alert.
I think everybody should vote for Joe Biden if they want our democracy to survive.
Why aren't more Republicans endorsing other candidates? And could House Speaker Mike Johnson's relationship with the former president impact the next election?
I'm all in for President Trump.
And Emmy winner Sarah Paulson talks about her transformative on-screen performances and getting...
And knowing I'm covered to go to therapy and fill my prescriptions is huge.
I found a plan for $0 a month. It was a huge sigh relief.
All plans cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care.
Oh my
and
gosh.
More. Healthcare.
Your ass tastes so
Enroll by
good.
December 15th.
Carson Kressley.
This Thanksgiving, shop
This recipe for water is so good. It's on the website. You gotta try it.
$59.99 and boots starting at $39.99. Gather in style and live your best dress.
One day
life
closer to
with K&G.
Thanksgiving.
Menards 11%
I'm gonna
sale
gut a
is
turkey
ending on Thanksgiving Day.
live.
Don't wait to finish your bathroom project
Kill it,
today.
break its neck,
We've got a
cut it
great
off,
selection of lighting,
defeather
vanities,
it,
hardware, and
stick my
bathroom
hand up its
accessories to
hoo-ha,
make a
and rip out
statement
all
with
of its
your bathroom
guts.
design. Check out our